Hi my lovely people, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, a warm welcome to you. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet and you have been watching my videos, or if this is your first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. That red button right there, click that and ring that notification bell right next to it for all notifications so that you will never miss one of my videos. If you don't ring the bell, YouTube won't let you know even if you're subscribed. That's just how it is now with YouTube. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I post all of my content, my beauty, makeup, lifestyle, fashion, fragrance content. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all my most long-lasting designer fragrances. These are fragrances that last on my skin and on clothes for 8-10 plus hours. These are the designer fragrances that last a very long time from my collection. I also did a video about the niche fragrances that last 10 plus hours. I will link it up here and down in the description box. If you missed that video, please don't forget to go check it out over there. So if you want to see my super long lasting designer fragrances, just keep watching. So I have quite a few designer fragrances that last a super long time on my skin and clothes. By super long time, I don't mean 5 to 6 hours, which is usually what you should expect from a good fragrance, you know, the longevity. But these fragrances that I'm going to talk about in this video, they last 8-10 plus hours. Yes, these are super long lasting fragrances that have amazing performance. By that I mean not just longevity, but most of them with projection and sillage as well. Usually those three kind of go together. It's rare when you find a fragrance that lasts long but doesn't project, doesn't have good sillage. Yeah, that happens, but it's not very common, not very often, right? So let's see what they are. So first I have a fragrance that has been around for a very long time. And this is a cult favorite. This has been a very popular fragrance for a very long time, although now we have a lot more choices, so it's being kind of forgotten. But this is a fragrance that performs so well. Not just longevity, but sillage, projection as well. This is a super sweet fragrance. I still love this. I still wear it. I gotta say, this is not for everybody. I know there are some people who don't like this because of the heavy dose of patchouli in here. This is none other than Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. This is a tried and true fragrance, you guys. I mean, I can actually smell it like here. It's like I don't even have to spray it. It's got quite the projection. This is a beautiful fragrance. This is super sweet. This has got a big dose of patchouli, so if you're not a patchouli fan, this is not for you. Although the patchouli in here doesn't smell earthy like in an off-putting way. The patchouli in here is, in my opinion, mainly contributing to that longevity of this fragrance and the strength of this fragrance. As you know, patchouli is one of those fragrance notes that actually help fragrances last longer. Well, at least in my opinion, from my research, from my experience, that has been the case. There are other fragrance notes like leather, some booze notes, some, you know, herbal notes that do the same thing. But patchouli is definitely a fragrance note that make fragrances last super long. This fragrance smells very fashionable, very modern, very stylish in my opinion. This has a big dose of caramel as well in this fragrance, and it's quite fruity. It's got a little hint of earthy, but not a lot. You know, from the patchouli, again, it's not a big massive earthiness, you know, an off-putting way. Slight little underpinning earthiness. There's a little bit of spices in here, and this also has you know, a little bit of a green nuance, a little hint of freshness. But this is mainly, to me, a very much a nighttime fragrance, but you can wear this in the daytime as well. So this is kind of a day to night fragrance. Oh my lord, you can wear this. I have worn this from day to night and all night, and this lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts. It's unbelievable. It lasts on my skin like 12 hours until I take a shower after wearing this all day long, all night long. And on my clothes, it's there until I wash it. It's that strong. It's amazing longevity. This fragrance is known for its longevity, its performance. So this has got notes like, you know, pear, there's mandarin orange, there's a little bit of a green hint from the green notes. There's orchid in this fragrance. There's toffee in the base, which gives it that caramel accord. There's a lot of patchouli, as I said. Gorgeous, stunning fragrance, very feminine, very stylish, very, very long lasting. If you want like a tried and true fragrance for something that, you know, like let's say you have a day like I've had last week at the conference, right? Where you want a fragrance that smells stylish, you know, also modern. You want to wear it all day, and then, you know, you go from conference to your social hour, and then you go to your fancy dinner. If you want a fragrance that go all day long, this is the one for you. That's the kind of week I had last week in San Francisco, you know, having the conference all day, then going into social hours, and then going into fancy dinners. So this would be a fragrance that's perfect for it. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring this one with me, but that would have been perfect. This one would have been perfect. This is a compliment getter. People love the way this smells. Like I said, it smells very stylish. It has that sweetness from the caramel, but it also smells quite nice and fruity, and that green undertone gives it like that slight edge, you know. Really love this fragrance. This is Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. Another one of my favorite, all-time favorite fragrances that I will never live without is in my hands, and this one lasts again all day long, all night long. This is another fragrance that you could potentially wear from day to night. It'll go from day to night on days like what I described, where you have like, you know, a daytime event and then you go into the nighttime event. This would work because it will last you all day and all night long. And it has amazing, not just amazing longevity, like 12 plus hours, but also amazing projection and sillage as well. People can smell you like feet away. You know, when I wear this, I get so many compliments. This, by the way, is a huge compliment getter. This is a flanker to the original, which I also love. This is none other than Viktor and Rolf Bonbon Couture. I also love the original Bonbon, which doesn't last as long as this one. I have a theory why that is. This has more patchouli. Oh, this is so good, you guys. This is one of the most beautiful, gorgeous smelling fragrances ever. This has a lot of white florals. It's got caramel in here, a big dose of caramel. It's quite sweet. This has got white tobacco, which the original Bonbon doesn't have, but this one does, which I think gives this an edge. This has patchouli. There are some citruses. It's got a huge dose of vanilla, and there's some sandalwood as well. There are like white florals like orange blossom jasmine in here, which are my favorites. I just think this fragrance is amazing when it comes to performance, and the scent itself is super feminine, super sexy. Again, something you can wear from day to night, and it can go all day, all night. 12 plus hours on my skin. Same with the clothes until I wash them. It's there on my clothes days after. If I don't wash it for days, I can still smell it. Very sexy, sort of modern, very fashionable kind of fragrance. This is Viktor and Rolf Bonbon Couture. Next, I have in my hands one of the most popular fragrances from Tom Ford. This is a tried and true fragrance that is really the brand is known for, and this was the first fragrance Tom Ford ever created. You guessed it, this one is Tom Ford Black Orchid. Oh my goodness, this is a powerhouse of a fragrance, you guys. I've talked about this fragrance so many times on my channel. There's something very deep and dark and, you know, sensual about this fragrance. Very almost edible kind of feel to this fragrance. It's like delicious, you know. This is a very complex fragrance composition. This has like all kinds of fragrance notes. There's even chocolate in here. There's like black truffles, you know, I mean, like every floral you can imagine is in here, including orchid, of course. There's patchouli. There are tons of spices. This is quite a spicy, warm, spicy fragrance. And this, of course, has a large dose of amber too, of course, you know. And it has like the most delicious fruity notes, like a lot of juicy fruity notes. This is a fragrance that lasts for a lifetime on your skin. Like, it really goes 10 plus hours on my skin. I never have to respray it. None of these fragrances that I'm talking about in this video are fragrances that you really have to carry a decant for or respray, because they will last and last and last and last. This one right here, in my opinion, is a nighttime fragrance. So if you have like a nighttime function where you start early, like around 6 o'clock, but you go all night long until dawn, this is the one for you. And you know, if you start your evening early, even in the early afternoon, you can start with this, and this will go all the way past midnight into the dawn. It is such a complex, very deep fragrance with super amazing performance, not just longevity, but projection and sillage as well. It's got a nice scent bubble, really a deep dark beauty, you know, very kind of sexy in a kind of an edgy way. There's a darkness about this fragrance, the deepness about this fragrance that I absolutely love. This is Tom Ford Black Orchid. Speaking of Tom Ford, I have another deep dark beauty that's kind of like a femme fatale type fragrance. There's something very dark and sexy and sultry about this fragrance, just like Black Orchid. This one, it's kind of like its cousin. This is Tom Ford Noir Perfume, which, by the way, unfortunately, I hear is being discontinued. Can you believe it? What is wrong with Tom Ford? Tom Ford, you and I, we need to have a conversation. Don't discontinue this fragrance. If you are discontinuing it to make it better and maybe reformulate it and come up with something better, maybe we might understand. But if you're actually taking this off the market altogether, you've just lost your mind, my friend. Don't do it. I've bought 3 backups for this already. Like, I'm not even kidding. I got a 3.4 ounce and I got a 2 1.7 ounce backup. So altogether I have 4 of these now. Yeah, that's how crazy I am. I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm never wanting to run out of this fragrance. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. This one, you guys, if you've ever seen, like, the bottle is opaque so you can't really see. If you ever see the juice color, like if you sprayed something on something like white or like light colored, you would see the juice is like super dark orange from the amber in here. There's like a huge, massive dose of amber in this fragrance, which I tend to believe that amber contributes to the longevity of fragrances as well, because I'm noticing that fragrances that have amber tend to last longer. I don't know, it might just be my crazy mind. It seems my experience is that when there's amber in fragrances, not just amber though, I mean a combination of other notes like patchouli, you need other ones like patchouli to make it last long, but amber really does, I feel, contribute to longevity. This fragrance is got a huge dose of vanilla. There's the lactonic feel in this fragrance from that kulfi note that's very milky. It's an ice cream dessert, you know, like an Indian ice cream dessert. Oh, this smells so fantastic. It's super sweet, by the way. This has got some spices. It's a little bit balsamic. There are some citruses in this fragrance. It's quite the aromatic fragrance. There's like a gorgeous zing from the ginger in here. There's lots of citruses. There's that kulfi. There's rose in here. And then other white florals like jasmine, orange blossom. And then that balsamic feel from the mastic, which I love. Mastic is an amazing balsam note that I absolutely adore. There's that huge dose of amber with that massive dose of vanilla in the base with the sandalwood. Ah, this is just a timeless fragrance. Tom Ford is crazy to take this off the market. I really don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, it's the perfect perfume. I mean, look at even the bottle. This lasts on me 10 plus hours, on clothes until I wash them. very long lasting, bang for the buck. These older fragrances, you know, fragrance houses used to make, they don't do it anymore. I feel they used to last a lot longer, I'm telling you. Like, these are some of the early fragrances Tom Ford created. These have better performance in my mind, in my opinion, than, you know, his like newer releases. Even counting his Privé line, his private line fragrances, these actually aren't private line, but I feel like, you know, Black Orchid, for example, has better performance. This is Tom Ford Noir Parfum. Next, I have a beautiful ambery sweet beauty that is a reformulation of the older version. Now, this is one of the few occasions where a fragrance house reformulated something and came out with something better. You know, this is definitely better than the older version, which I also adore, by the way. This is none other than Giorgio Armani Sea en Tons. Now, the original Sea en Tons, if you guys remember, was a black bottle, which I absolutely adore. It's a very kind of juicy blackcurrant note in the opening. It's just to die for. I used to wear that in the summertime mainly. I still do, by the way. I have a bottle still. I adored it. It was kind of like my signature scent there for a very long time. But this has replaced its place in my heart because this is even more beautiful, even more delicious. This has a massive dose of amber, which I believe contributes to the longevity of this fragrance. This one lasts a lifetime on my skin and clothes, you guys. This is not a very like in your face kind of fragrance, but it still lasts a very long time, 10+ hours on my skin and on clothes, again, for a long time until I wash it. This is like a sweet ambery fragrance. It's not like the original. There's still blackcurrant in here because all sea fragrances, blackcurrant is like the signature across all of them, across the board. So there's that signature juicy fruity blackcurrant in there. This has got a rose. This has got a good dose of patchouli. There are some warm spices in this fragrance. It's quite aromatic. It's got a slight hint of balsam in here, balsamic feel. I feel like there's a balsamic note of some sort in here. Or does it come from the huge dose of amber? That could be, because amber is a resin note, you know, resin balsam family. So that could be it. This does have that juicy blackcurrant in the opening. There's rose in the middle. There's Davana, which I told you in my other video, my niche version of this video, longest lasting niche fragrances video. I feel like Davana it's that herbal note, the sexy herbally note. I feel like Davana contributes to longevity of fragrances. I really do. I feel like it did the same in here. It's a very like sexy sort of herbal note, you know, that I absolutely love in fragrances, I've come to realize. And then of course this has a massive dose of amber. There's benzoin, which is also a resin, by the way, which is what makes this, the benzoin makes this sweet, I think. And there's patchouli, which again contributes to longevity. I really love this to wear from day to night, by the way. This is a signature scent worthy fragrance because this is one of those fragrances that go from day to night. You can wear it any time of the day and mostly any season of the year too, really. But I prefer to wear this one more like in the transition times of the year, going from summer to fall or winter to spring. But you know, and I like to wear this mostly like, you know, towards the later part of the day, but you can wear this during the day as well. Definitely a signature scent worthy fragrance. This one is Giorgio Armani Sea en Tons. Next, I have probably the most beast mode fragrance. Do I say that? Well, it's one of the most beast mode fragrances here on my table on this list. This one is a monster. It'll last you and last you and last you all night long, all day long. This is mainly a nighttime fragrance. I mean, on my skin, this gets like 12+ hours. On my clothes, until I wash them, and sometimes after I wash them, I can smell it too. It is a super strong beast mode fragrance, very long lasting. This one is Mugler Angel Muse. This one is that fragrance that has that hazelnut in here. The chocolate accord is super amazing. This has a massive dose of patchouli, which by the way isn't everybody's cup of tea. I realize patchouli is not for everybody. To me, patchouli is really nice. Patchouli enhances longevity, like I said, also adds to fragrances this like beautiful slight earthiness that really elevate especially gourmet notes. For example, in here with the chocolate that's in here, the patchouli is almost, it smells almost edible with that slight earthiness mixing with the gourmet. I love it. I personally love it. This is a super sweet, woody, sort of patchouli, chocolatey type fragrance. It's quite aromatic. It's a little bit nutty from the hazelnut in the hazelnut chocolate. It's slightly earthy, of course, from the patchouli. It's balsamic. I'm quite sure there are balsam notes in here. Could be amber contributing to the balsam feel of it. So this has like, you know, pink pepper. There's like citrus in here. There's hazelnut, like I said. There's vetiver and patchouli, which are both kind of earthy notes. Maybe to some people it's a little too earthy, but to me, with the gourmet notes in here, that earthiness is really nice. That patchouli, I really do think contributes to the longevity of this fragrance. There's a heavy dose of patchouli in here. So if you're not a patchouli lover, don't buy this fragrance. I really personally love it. This is very dark fragrance for nighttime wear. In the wintertime, mainly in the colder months, I would say 12 plus hours longevity, clothes until you wash them. It's really hard to kind of get the smell off, really. Very potent fragrance. I believe there's a little bit of amber in here, in my opinion. It could be benzoin too. That gives it that sort of stressiness vibes, balsam vibes. Yeah, this is Angel Muse by Mugler. Next, I have in my hands a beautiful, one of my go-to sexy girly fragrance that I like to wear whenever I want to feel sexy without having to think too much. It's kind of like a dumb reach for me. This is a fragrance that men absolutely love. I get so many compliments from men on this fragrance. Longevity is absolutely insane. Like once I wore it, I remember this fragrance like early afternoon and it was there on my skin until dawn. It's that kind of fragrance. It'll be on your skin until you wash it off, and on your clothes the same thing, like 10 plus 12 plus hours. This is Girl of Now by Elisab. This is one of the most favorite, I mean, as you guys can tell, it's been loved. I love this fragrance. This is one of those tried and true, super feminine, super sexy fragrances that just you don't have to think too much. This has those gorgeous nutty notes, the pistachio, the almond with that orange blossom, which is delicious. This lasts for a lifetime. It's obviously quite nutty, very almondy, you know, with the white florals. There are woody notes in here. It's quite fruity, it's sweet, it's got some amber too. You can tell by the juice it's got amber, which I think contributes to the longevity of this fragrance, if you ask me. There is definitely a little bit of patchouli in here. I don't know if it's a revealed note or not, but there is a little bit of patchouli that you can almost don't smell, but I feel like it's there because of the strength of this fragrance. I mean, this has pistachio in the opening and almond on two different layers, like middle and base. I think there's like pear, which is a juicy feminine note. There's orange blossom, there's jasmine, and then there are citruses like mandarin orange, and I'm pretty sure this has patchouli as well, which I think contributes to the longevity. And I think the amber in here in the base also contributes to the longevity of this fragrance. This one lasts so long and it projects so well. People can smell you. I get so many compliments from this fragrance from wearing it. Again, it like be on your skin, like projecting and lasting pretty much the whole time you want it, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours plus, really. A bang for your buck. Super feminine, sexy fragrance that'll last you. So if you're going to an important occasion where you want to absolutely feel and smell gorgeous and sexy and you don't want to have to respray, this is the perfect one for you. This is Elisa, Girl of Now. Next to have one of my all-time favorite party fragrances. This is a very amazing night out fragrance, perfect for nights out. It's still one of my go-to night out fragrances. Even after having like a 400 plus perfume collection, this is still one of my go-to night out fragrances. Lasts forever. Like if you start your night early, like 6 o'clock in the evening, and you go out to drinks, you have dinner, and then you go clubbing or whatever, this will be on your skin until dawn. Until you come home and you wash yourself, it'll be on your skin. It'll be on your clothes for days until you wash it. This is Lancôme La Nuit Tresor. This beauty is something that is super complex. The composition is very complex. It's a very sweet fragrance that's really sexy and very edgy, if you ask me. There's caramel in here that contributes to the sweetness. It's got a lot of fruity notes. It's got some balsam feel to it. There's a lot of vanilla in here too. I'm pretty sure there's patchouli in here as well. There are juicy fruity notes like pear, passion fruit, and lychee in here. That's absolutely gives it a slight tropical edge to it. But this is a nighttime fragrance, by the way, because of the gourmand notes especially. There's a massive dose of caramel. There's coffee in here. There's vanilla, there's coumarin, there's licorice, there's like incense a little bit too. I think there's patchouli definitely, which I think adds to the longevity of this fragrance. Just the overall composition with all those notes put together, it's this beautiful scent. It's really kind of difficult to describe. Definitely nighttime appropriate. Lasts like 12 hours, on my skin and clothes until I wash them. Days after, it's on there. Great night out fragrance. La Nuit Tresor right here. And I have its flanker, La Nuit Tresor à la Folie, which is apparently being discontinued. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is such a beautiful vanilla scent, you guys. It's got a lot of the same notes as the original, with some differences. The biggest difference being this has got a lot of vanilla, like more vanilla than the original, like a huge massive dose of vanilla. It's very vanilla heavy, but this one also lasts quite a long time. Maybe not as long as the original, slightly less, but definitely is long lasting. I believe this also has patchouli in it. Yeah, I gotta mention this as well. Super long lasting, both of them. Last but not least, I have a very expensive designer fragrance that is absolutely beast mode. It even has a beast. It's inspired by a beast, actually, by a tiger. You probably guessed it. This one is Christian Louboutin Loubi Raj. Oh my goodness, this fragrance is such a gorgeous fragrance. You guys know how much I adore this. I did a whole Christian Louboutin Loubi World collection review. I will link it up here and down in the description box. I rated this one. I ranked all of the Louboutin fragrances, Christian Louboutin Loubi World fragrances, and this was my #1 choice. You guys saw that this one smells very sexy, very luxurious, very edgy, very sexy. This has that gorgeous suede note in here that really gives it that leather accord, which I think contributes to the longevity of this fragrance. This goes forever on my skin, like 12 plus hours. You can't scrub it off the clothes. You can smell this even after washing the clothes. Amazing fragrance. This has like pink pepper, there's suede, there's some woody notes like cedar. I think there's musk in here as well. There are a lot more. I mean, there's of course spices in here that they haven't revealed. Christian Louboutin only reveals like 3 notes in their Loubi World collection fragrances especially, and I'm sure others as well. This is a lot more complex than just 3 notes, you guys. There's a lot more going on in here. Very long lasting, and I wouldn't doubt that this has maybe a little hint of patchouli. I can't actually smell the patchouli in here. If there is patchouli, it's very subtle. But I think what contributes to the longevity of this fragrance is that suede, that leather accord. Stunning fragrance, amazing for nights out, date night or party night, or you're going out in whatever the way. Very expensive smelling leather accord that's in here, not like hit you in the face, leather smelling kind of leather. No, this is more like a very stylish fragrance. The leather doesn't smell animalic or or cowhide like, you know what I'm saying? It's very fashionable, very gorgeous. That it's a mix, it's a composition, very complex, well blended composition, lasts so long on my skin and clothes. It's one of those fragrances I don't have to respray. Once I spray it on, it's good to go. This one is Christian Louboutin Loubirage. So that's it, you guys. Those are my top longest lasting fragrances from my collection, longest lasting designer fragrances from my collection. Like I said, I did the niche version of the longest lasting fragrances. I linked it up there and it's down in the description box too. Go check it out. So let me know in the comment section, what are your longest lasting fragrances that you've come across, that you like, that you think you don't have to respray, that lasts for a lifetime on your skin and clothes? Chime down in the comment section and let me know, you guys. I would love to know, more long lasting fragrances from you guys, if you have any to share with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell for all notifications, not just some. Otherwise, you will not hear from YouTube when I upload. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I post all my amazing content. I will see you guys in my next video.